Give me a P.
P.
Give me an H.
H.
Give me a B.
B.
What do you say?
Hey.
Hey. Welcome to Promote Her Business, online, offline, all the time. My name is Josephine Hannon, but you can call me Jose, and I am the founder and chief promoter of Promote Her Business. At Promote Her Business, we believe that if you want to have the ultimate promotion advantage, you need to do what others don't so you can get what others won't. And one way that you can have the ultimate advantage this month is by paying attention to the best practices in website conversion. And what I mean by that is not just having people come to your website, but once they're at your website, making sure they're clicking on the things you want them to click on and they're taking the actions you want them to take. Now, earlier this month, we heard the viewpoint of a highly, highly regarded expert, Akko. He's the founder of Leap Terra. And today, you get to hear from business owners who are not experts in digital marketing. They're just common business. Just a real scoop on what it was like for them to become successful in the area of website conversion. Understanding how to get more website conversions is so important because it's not just about getting a pretty website, although it is fun to pick out your colors, but what it's really about is making sure that your website is more than a brochure. It's really something that people are using to make transactions and opt in to your list. And so that's why it's so important to make sure you're not just working on your website, but it's working for you actively. And the objectives for today are really threefold. We are going to, one, learn from a successful dance studio called Grooveitude Dance, how their business obtained online success. We're going to, two, find out what they did, what they delegated to increase online conversions. And three, we're going to get the real scoop on what they expected in terms of results versus what they actually achieved. So this is about to get really exciting. And what you're about to learn is more precious than gold, so you're definitely going to want to hear every word and go to a quiet place, make sure you are not distracted, and grab a pen and a paper and get ready to take some copious notes. I now have the pleasure of introducing the founders and trainers at GrooveitudeDance.com. Super cool name, right? What Grooveitude is, it's a community dance studio for kids, but mainly adults. And their motto is to dance for life. So it is such an honor to really have the co-founders, Mandy Bell and Lisa Navarro, here with us today. And in case you're curious, Mandy also specializes in teaching hip-hop, cardio-pop, and musical theater. And Lisa specializes in lyrical, contemporary, hip-hop, jazz, kids classes, cardio-pop, and private Pilates sessions. And they have been teaching for over 20 years, and they're still thrilled. They're absolutely thrilled and lit up to come to work every day. And I'm thinking they're probably also thrilled because they're getting really great website conversions, which we're going to learn all about today. So Mandy and Lisa, are you with me right now?
We are. Hi. Thanks for having us today.
Yes, thank you. We're thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's start. Can you tell us a little bit more about your business and specifically how you're using website conversion strategies?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said earlier, our motto is to dance for life. So that means that we need to dance for life also. So that doesn't mean we need to be working behind the computer. We need to be choreographing, we need to be teaching, we need to be interacting with our clients. So yeah, that's what website conversion has done for us. It allows us to really be, have, relationships with the people that come in through the door. So that's our biggest thing.
And we're really a small business. It's just Lisa and I, but our community is very large. It's a big community, so it's a lot of people for us to connect with. And like Lisa said, we've really vowed to prioritize our relationships in our community, and they've really vowed to do that with each other as well. So having this new platform has really given us an opportunity to reach more people that we wouldn't otherwise have reached.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very, very nice. And I'm really curious because in the world of small business, a lot of times there's a question of, should I do it myself? Should I delegate it to an expert? How was it for you in terms of figuring out what to do versus what to delegate? And if you did delegate to an expert, what was that like?
Well, I must say, when we first started off, we tried really hard to do some of those things. In fact, I think the first time we tried to do even just a flyer, it was really sad. I mean, we gave it to one of our graphic artists or designers, and they basically just took it from us and said, "Oh, you poor girls, let me help you with that." So we knew early on that technology and kind of marketing, advertising was not really in our bag of tricks. And so when we found Akko, we were hugely relieved that we could hand it over to him, and it was in good hands because he really walked us through the process quite nicely, and was very attentive to our needs and to the things that we wanted to express on the website. So.
Yeah, and he really knew what questions to ask us because we didn't know what we didn't know. Like, we were really kind of in the dark. We had a really simple website, just kind of gave the information, and we thought, oh, our website's pretty good. But, he really opened our eyes to see that it could be so much more, and that was exciting for us.
That's fabulous. I'm really curious. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit more? Was there a specific aha moment that you had when you were talking to him?
as most business people, you always want more customers, more clients, more people to walk through your door. And that was our main goal, is to reach out to people and really get them to walk through our door. So once they walk through our door, it's our responsibility. And I think we just didn't realize we would be interacting with people so much from the website, so we're actually communicating with them either via email or on the phone. They can see what we do and how we do it. They could actually learn something. They could actually learn a choreography online. So we just have so much more out there for them now. Like, they can actually come learn choreography before they come into class, so they can be ahead of the game. And they're able to pay for a class online. They can pay for a single class, or they can pay for a bulk class. Our kids' class sessions are also available online. So yeah, we have a lot more accessibility that way.
That is really great. And I'm curious, now that you have more online, how is your community responding to being able to learn choreography ahead of time?
I think it's an asset that we hadn't really counted on before. I mean, a lot of choreographers and teachers these days put things up on YouTube for free, and then you can subscribe to it. That's one way of doing it. But our intention is really, we want people to come to the class and to the community. And so our intention is a little bit different. So having it on our website, I think, really invites people to come and try out our classes in a way that lets them see what they're going to kind of be getting themselves into. Because dance is a very level-oriented discipline, and sometimes it can be a little intimidating to go to a studio where you're not really sure, what is beginning, what's intermediate, and we do say that we are available for everyone, but that can feel very different when you show up and you are looking at the class as a beginner or as a new student. So I think the interacting with the videos has been really great, and then also just the communication, because people, once the way the website's set up is that we receive emails, and then typically Lisa calls back within 24 hours, and we talk to them on the phone, and then you get to find out exactly what it is that they're looking for and what their needs are, and maybe typically what their fears are about coming into the studio. And then once they can hear a voice and know that we're really there and that they're not just talking to, an automated phone system, it shifts the energy, for lack of a better word. It really just shifts it. Yeah.
I love that, and I think it's a very powerful lesson for our listeners today when they're thinking about their systems and how you've really thought through going from having it be an online experience to really creating this highly personalized culture around interacting with your customers. So it's not just a cold online experience, but you're very intentional about how you bring them offline as well.
Yeah. So like just the other day, someone that wanted to purchase one of the choreographies, we get sent an email that says, I just want the one choreography, they don't want the full subscription. And so we get back to them personally and say, here's the video, hope you can come to class, it was really good to see you, and feel free to ask us any questions if you want. So it really opens up dialogue, it opens up relationship. It's not just, here's your product, thanks for buying it. There's more to it than that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, I'm really curious, especially since you said you were really starting at the beginning and you didn't have a ton of knowledge about websites ahead of time. What kind of results were you expecting when you initially started working with an expert versus what you ended up getting?
Yeah, well, we were expecting, to get, more traffic to our website, and that's really what we were expecting. And with the hopes also to have people walk through the door. And we did get that. But we really got the ability to interact with people that we would have never had the chance to before. So, we now are able to give people choreographies online that we may have never met before, and maybe they live in a different state that actually can't come to our classes here in the Bay Area. So, yeah, it allows us to kind of touch base with people in a wider range. Yeah. So that's something we weren't really expecting before. So that's fun for us.
Very nice. Now, a common question people often ask is, how long does it take to really get this process going?
It took about 6 months, really, because, from the time of actually talking to Akko about, changing it and then making, creating the content and that sort of thing took about 6 months. But then it really took about a year for us to get acclimated to the actual, all the new goodies that we had on our website. So now, it's been a little over a year and maybe going on 2 years now, and it feels like, we kind of are in the swing of it. We get how it works. We kind of know, because we were really naive to all of it. So we really had a lot more, we kind of feel comfortable with it. And now we're able to also promote on our website. So now we can create promotions on our website. So now you can come for 30 days straight for $60. Come on over, Josh. We would love to have you. So you can take as many classes as you want for $60. So yeah, we can create promotions, and things like that. So yeah, it takes about 6 months, and then really for us it felt like it took a year because we just were on a learning curve.
And it's really we're taking our own advice, because when people come in through the door and they're overwhelmed, we usually say you need at least 3 or 4 classes just to get acclimated, and you need to give yourself several years, if not like a decade, to learn a style of dance. So we really had to take our own medicine, because I would say that I'm probably not the most patient individual in the world, and especially with technology. And so it was really good to have Akko, because he was able to kind of give us some perspective, let us see the big picture, and really, be patient with the results, because it's really paid off. It's paid off for us considerably, and we're very happy that we were fearless enough to do something that we were uncomfortable with and that we were not really confident about, and ultimately just trust that he knew what he was doing, and he was expert as we are in our area, and I think that is probably one of the best things for me to remember, is that when you find someone that's good, that's the right fit for you, and I think take the time to find the right person, and he was the right fit for us, because he really knew exactly, how to work with us and my impatience, quite frankly, and help us get the best benefit out of this product.
Now, do you have any advice for, the community, other entrepreneurs who are interviewing experts? Are there certain things that they should be asking them, or, was there something that Akko did that had your, green light, let's make this a go off, that they could ask and make sure that an expert's a good fit?
Yeah, well, I think the fact that he really was not rushed. He took, have you ever been to like a doctor's appointment and you just know they're trying to get on to the next person, and you're like, geez, I need to tell you more. You're not getting the big picture, right? And and you know that they know what they're doing, but they're just not going to, they don't take the time. They're not going to actually be able to help you the way you need to be helped. And I think the fact that he really was patient and took the time to listen, and then take from that information to figure out what we didn't know. He's like, oh, you didn't realize that, most people, a lot of people want to pay online, so you really need to have that option for people. Or, people want to find out about you and then get on your email list. And then things that we weren't comfortable with, for example, a lot of the inquiries that go on our email list, and we felt uncomfortable, like, well, they didn't come to class. Should we really send them out our, weekly newsletter? And he was able to comfort us, quite frankly, and say, yes, of course, people are assuming that you're going to be doing that, and then they take the responsibility to say, no thanks, I don't want to, receive your email anymore, because we really felt uncomfortable. It felt like we were imposing ourselves on other people, and he helped us shift our entire perspective on that. And he said, no, this is how most people do it nowadays, and your customer, your consumer, will have that expectation. So it won't be a check against you, basically. And that never would have occurred to me, actually. So the fact that he took the time to explain sort of how it works and ask the right questions, and I think it'll be different for everybody's business. Find someone you trust too. Find someone that you feel completely comfortable with, because you have to be able to say the things that you're fearful about. You have to be able to admit the things that you're not good at and trust that they're going to take care of you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like what he did for
go ahead.
I feel like what he did for me is he allowed me to actually trust in my business. He really encouraged me to trust in that it can grow. It doesn't have to be like, tooth and nail, talking to people outside of business. It doesn't have to be like it was before where, everything's word of mouth. That's the only way that you're going to build, because that's how we built. I mean, we've been doing this a long time, so everything was word of mouth. The only reason that we are here is because people talked about us, but it doesn't have to be that way anymore. So it allowed me to really trust in the new way of, promoting your business. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Now, something that Akko talked about in the last interview that we did is he said videos are important. And it sounds like you also have been doing videos. What has been your experience of that?
Yeah, we were hesitant to that too. Because as much as we are in front of people all day, as soon as that camera gets on, you're like, oh my gosh, I sound like a dork. So yeah, we were really hesitant to that. But yeah, I mean, it's all about video because people's attention span is not that long. I mean, they just want to watch something. They don't really want to read anymore, So I think and in dance is something that you watch. It's a performance art, so it's something that you have to, see, not necessarily read about. I remember studying dance in college and going, okay, well, when are we going to actually move? What's the point of writing all of this down? So it's kind of the same thing. With a video, you get to express differently. You get to actually see what's actually happening. So for us, it's very, very helpful. But I think also just in general for any other business, a video allows your customer to see what you're doing in a really, quick moment instead of having to read and understand and take the time. And so I think it's just the day and age of video. Everything's video now.
Gotcha. So during this process, I know it can seem like a stressful, serious process, but were there any moments of fun? What made this fun for you?
Oh, yeah. Well, Mandy and I have fun regardless, but handing it over was fun. Yeah, handing it over was super fun. Yay! So, really it's fun to go open your website and go, oh, my God, this website is so beautifully updated. I mean, it is really beautiful. I mean, very much the aesthetic part of it is fun. But I would say the coolest part for both of us is that we get to meet new people that we would have never met, and that's the best part because with our old website, we would have never reached these people, because now if you search dance classes on Google, we're on the first page now, and so that we would have never had that. I don't know, we were like page 25. I don't know, we were way down there. So, yeah, so that's great. So now we get to meet really awesome people, and the people that want to, move their body, heal their body, and so when they're here with us, we're able to experience that with them. So that's the most fun part.
And that is a huge win, being on the first page of Google. Did I hear that correctly?
You did, yes. And that you were asking earlier the time frame. I think it took about 6 months for us to get on the first page of Google because it's a process. I don't really understand the process because, of course, he took care of that for us. But yeah, within 6 months we were on the first page.
And our studio actually isn't a very visible studio. So we're not in a strip mall where you can see us. We're kind of in the back of a community center or an old high school, actually. And there aren't actually a lot of adult classes, dance classes, in the South Bay where we are. There's a ton up in San Francisco and a ton in San Jose. And so, you'd run into people all the time talking about, I wish there was a dance class for me, because they're all taking their kids, to dance classes. And it's like this little gem kind of hidden away for like a decade, really, or even more. So we went 10 years building our business, and I would say what he's done for us in a year took us 5 years or more to do. Yeah. So, he's increased our business, like I said, in a year in what took us, 5 to 10 years to do on our own.
Yeah.
Wow, that is remarkable. And I'm thinking a lot of listeners right now are thinking, oh my gosh, I have to re-get Akko's website.
Yeah.
So that is so wow. That's just a testament to what's possible. So if you are listening to this right now, I hope you're feeling as encouraged as I think a lot of our audience is feeling about what's possible. Just because you haven't had the results that you wanted yet, and you've been your marketing department, you've been your sales department, doesn't mean that it's over. You know, you can get these results if you branch out outside of yourself and find the right expert, you know, to support you. That's what I'm really hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think both of us are so, we're very, I guess you could say, self-responsible and very independent-oriented, so we kind of have this impression that we're supposed to take care of everything ourselves. And I think Lisa mentioned it earlier, by kind of sharing that responsibility and bringing someone in that we trust, it really, surprisingly, this is the part that surprised me, it freed up an opportunity for us to really value what we do and just say, wow, just spend the time with the things that speak to you and that you know that you're doing to you know, bring your gift of dance and choreography, the both of us, to a community, and sharing that with people, and trust that that's enough. You know, trust that that's enough for your business, and ultimately, you know, having someone else come in and share that is an abundance for everyone. You know, everybody wins. So it's a less contracted feeling, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's a way more abundant feeling. So, and I was surprised at that. So
that is great. I love that. So I'm curious, once you implemented your new website strategy, how often do you have to go back and really pay attention to what's going on and check in?
Checking into the email, yeah. I mean, checking into the website. Really much, it checks in with us. So it tells us when, you know, something is needed, or it alerts us via email mainly. So we can, mainly with customers specifically, so then we can follow up with them. And usually we follow up with people within 24 hours. And we found that if with it, you know, we ask them when they're actually coming, it helps. So we're holding them somewhat accountable. So say, for example, Sally inquires to come to the class. She's like, I'd like to come to the hip-hop class on Thursday. And then I, within 24 hours, then say, okay, well, what day and time would you like to come? It gave us, and that's, I think it goes back to the question of how long did it take. Well, it took us a while to actually figure that out. Oh, we need to ask them when. Yeah. And so now, you know, we get this information, we can communicate with the person and somewhat ask them, well, so when are you coming? So we're expecting to see you. And I think when you have that opportunity to expect them or ask them or invite them, it creates a relationship with your customer. So that's the greatest part. So the website sort of, I mean, what he created, we are able to actually receive, you know, pretty much instantaneously, oh, this person is interested in this, and then I can respond, you know, I ideally both of us try to respond within 24 hours.
And then we change things, I would say, maybe quarterly when our class schedule changes. So it's not like we're changing things on this website every month. It's happening, you know, maybe 4 times a year.
Yeah, so we don't change a lot because we kind of try to keep the same schedule for a while. But when we need to, then we just shoot Akko an email and let him know, and he changes it again within probably less than 24 hours. So it's pretty quick turnaround.
Wow, that's really fabulous.
Yeah.
So there's so many golden nuggets that you gave us today. If you could just choose one action for entrepreneurs who are interested in taking on optimizing their website or getting more conversions, what do you think is the one action you would tell other listeners to take?
Well, I don't know if this is the most technical answer, but really value yourself. Like, sit with the fact that, you know, am I really am I truly valuing myself? And if I am, then take the time to find someone you trust to help you in the areas that aren't your strong suit, because ultimately it'll work out for everybody, especially if your intention is there. And I think sometimes we seek the outcome before we take the time to reflect upon where we're at in our business and where we're at with ourselves. And when you can really sit with that and say, well, am I valuing myself? Am I valuing my business? Then I think things start to shift from there. It's really kind of, it's not what you might think. It's not the external approach where you kind of go out and seek something for yourself. You're really looking inward and asking yourself, you know, to value yourself and to value other people. And I think when we value other people, then the consequences of that take care of themselves naturally. So the golden nugget would be a more of a reflective, a mindset, yeah, an intention for yourself.
Yeah, and I'd say it's along the similar lines that the golden nugget is finding the right person, really finding the person you can trust to do it. Because Mandy and I think of this as one of our other children, our business. We really love it. We really care for it. We really honor it. And so it took us a while to actually let go and let somebody actually help us. So that's really what's made the biggest change for us.
That is really great. And how did that feel? Like when you actually were at that point that you finally let it go, how was that feeling for you?
Well, it was a little scary because we didn't, like you just don't know what you don't know. And so it's like, well, am I going to spend this money and is it going to give us return? Or, you know, I mean, when we first started, I think we had advertisements in the newspaper and they were like a lot of money and nothing ever came from it. So you just, you know, when you spend money in advertisement and promoting yourself, you want return because you know that's money that you could be paying yourself instead. So, I mean, that's fearful. We were fearful at first, but just giving it, you know, give it about a year to allow it to kind of progress and to kind of give back to you what you've given out. So, I think just allowing that time.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of today, they were definitely know one more time who is Akko and what is his website, because I know you both have given him very favorable reviews throughout this interview. So could you tell us again what his website is?
Oh yeah, his website is leaptera.com, and that is LEAPTERA.com. And he has a variety of things he can offer you there. He's also a really great dancer.
He's a great dancer? Oh, that's fabulous. I don't think
anytime.
That is so cool. It's not something that came out on the last interview, but that is an awesome tidbit, and I really hope he's listening right now. Oh, that is so cool. So talking about dancing, I mean, I know when you were talking, even though the interview was not specifically about your business, I mean, I was getting excited when you were talking about how there's not enough adult dance classes out there that are fun. And I mean, personally, I'm a total dancer. I love the Zumba classes. I love the U-dance classes. I'm like constantly like looking for like a good hip-hop class, you know, just different things. And so I was really curious, can you tell us a little bit more about your business and how people can, you know, go ahead and look up dance classes for themselves?
Well, you can go to our new and improved website. And our website is www.groovitude.com, and that's spelled GROOVITUDE dance.com. GrooveitudeDance.com. Or you can look on the first page of Google for dance class in Palo Alto. And then, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So the range of classes, you know, a lot of them, when they say cardio on it, it just implies that you're going to sweat a little bit. It doesn't mean anything crazy. But we do focus on choreography because it is very popular. You mentioned Zumba and UJam, and sort of that format that's become popular at gyms allows people to have this real dancey flavor while still getting a workout. And I would say if you just flip that a little bit, that's sort of what we provide. So we do a little bit more choreography, and I feel like I sweat just from thinking about the choreography. But the ramp up is different, right? So it's really a lifestyle, it's a commitment, and that's why it becomes a community, because coming once a week is great and fun, but you see people that start to say, well, I'm going to come twice a week now, you know, to the 2 hip-hop classes on Tuesday and Thursday because I get to see it more than once, and it feels so much better, you know, by the 3rd time. But really, the community is so welcoming because it can be a little what's humbling, I think, at first when you come do something that requires, you know, you to remember the choreography, not just do, you know, 2 steps and move on to the next one. But the payoff is really amazing. It's fun, and everyone, you know, cheers for one another, you know, genuinely, because we're just like, this was hard, good job, you know, we made it. And then everything else is, the music's fun, you know, the atmosphere is nice. We have a beautiful big, you know, studio. It's old, but it's got lots of love and lots of windows and light, and a lot of the same people come, so you end up seeing some of the, you know, familiar faces at each of the different classes. So.
Perfect.
We have a variety of styles. We teach everything from jazz, tap, hip-hop, contemporary. So we can go anywhere from the range of musical theater to Bollywood sometimes. So we like to try it all. Fun.
Very nice. So that sounds so exciting. So I really recommend everybody who's listening today to go to grooveatudedance.com. Once again, it's GROOVITUDE dance, DANCE.com, and check it out. Check out how their website is. It's absolutely gorgeous and fun, and I think it really reflects the personalities of the founders that you heard on this call today. And, you know, check it out to see how they're doing their promotions and their schedule, and in the meantime, you might just fall in love with their classes, because I'm on there right now, and I'm like, wow. It looks so fun. It definitely looks so fun. So thank you so much for being with us, Mandy and Lisa.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So for everybody out there, if you were hooked on today's information, you haven't heard anything yet, you definitely have to tune in next month, because we're featuring the Linnea Hagen, and many of you have heard her speak on PHB's big stage. You've also might have known that she's speaking internationally if you're following her community Facebook posts. She is the founder of the Abundance Academy, the Abundance Business Academy, and she is a top business coach and marketing strategist. And what she says is just give me 45 minutes of your time, and using just 3 or 4 growth strategies, I'll help you find a minimum of $10,000 hidden in your business without spending an extra cent on marketing or advertising. So how can you better utilize what you're currently doing? You have to check out her next interview and learn from a really great marketing strategist. In the meantime, after this interview, we are sending out a survey, and it only takes 2 minutes to complete the survey. Give us some feedback, any other questions you have for Mandy, or or Lisa or Akko, feel free to put that in your survey. And then what we're going to do is, it only takes 2 minutes to enter, but you can win big. You can win a 1-hour biggest difference consult where we talk to you about what will make the biggest difference in your business this month, and that's valued at $600. So take 2 minutes to fill out the survey right after this call. And until then, remember to promote your business and each other online, offline, all the time. Ladies, give me a P.
P.
Give me an H.
H.
Give me a B.
C.
What do you say?
Hey.